All I want is just these random ass kids from middle of nowhere Indiana to be happy. Is that too much? Too much? So I read this book a while back and I had to reread it to make this review. Yes, hurting myself twice for you guys. That's the masochist I am, I guess. Warning, spoilers for both the book and the movie. If you have any plans to read or watch any of them, bye-bye. So it all starts with Detective Pikachu's son finding Elle Fanning at the top of a bridge. He manages to talk her down, and it turns out her sister was killed in a car accident near that bridge, and it would have been her 19th birthday had the accident not happened. Safe to say that Violet needs a little bit more than a hug. Theodore, on the other hand, also has some problems of his own. One of which is having Keegan-Michael Key as his counselor.
This whole class is gonna feel my wrath.
Right off the bat, I am totally vibing with this Theodore character. Give me a guy like him over Edward Creepy Stairs any day.
Be thoughtful.
He disrupts the class to get the focus away from me and my insecure ass. Yes, tell me how I can find one, and do you accept cash or card? So even though Violet's not completely opened up yet, Theodore really pushes to get to know her more. And they become partners in the school project where they need to find these hidden gems of Indiana. Like, not to be mean to Indiana, but that's kind of a rough assignment. Like, you gotta be really creative for that one. Apologies to any Indiana people who are watching. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. Violet's not really ready at this point. Definitely not ready to get back into a car, but you know what? Bikes be looking pretty good here. I wish I could look that good after riding a bike for like 10 miles. For me, it'd be all F-bombs and pit stains at that point. He takes her to the highest point in Indiana, which is unsurprising, anticlimactic. But this is what I really love about this. It's the beauty of the adventure of such an underwhelming spot and the humor that they found by insulting it. Like, no shade on The Fault in Our Stars, but they really be showing all the canals and the beautiful waterways of Amsterdam when there are space cakes and prostitutes like right next door. I don't know, this is probably just my preference, but I really like the way they hit on the simplicity of something so stupid like this, and that was kind of just like making it the entire point. It's like you don't need the Eiffel Tower or like a helicopter view of like an exploding volcano. You don't need that kind of stuff to make a moment feel meaningful. Those should be optional, not mandatory. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think exploding volcanoes has been done before. So any clickbaity YouTubers, get on that. So the next place they go to is the Before I Die wall. Mine would have definitely read Meeting Cardi D'Amelio in Concert. They finally talk about Violet and her sister and begin the healing process. Then this toupee looking motherfucker comes in. And apparently everyone in this movie considers Theodore a freak.
I think this whole freak thing is an act.
By the way, anyone's still using that term, just so you know, the 90s called and they want their bad insults back. The assignment's over, but of course, this really isn't about the class assignment.
This is about you being holed up in your room or on your stupid bike, always circling the same 3-mile radius.
And oh my god, does Theodore do the ultimate pro gamer move here.
Is everything okay out here? Fine.
Hey. Sorry. Hey, hi. I'm Theodore Finch. Pleasure to meet you both.
He goes up and introduces himself to the parents, and goddamn if that is not one of the best things to do in a situation like that. Most guys I've known have been like, oh shit, better let her do the talking. Things will probably sound worse than what they really are, but I don't want to get into that. Yeah, the confidence to just introduce yourself, show that you're not a bad dude on your own terms. Bravo, my guy. Bravo. He basically finesses them, and he and Violet finally get together. But then we start to see cracks in the armor. Theodore isn't altogether there. Sometimes he just goes off and disappears, which can be really scary. While the movie is really good at showing off how difficult it can be for both Violet and Theodore, the book definitely hit that point a lot harder. It's never stated in the movie that Finch suffers from bipolar disorder and depression. They allude to it, but they never directly state it. Now, I remember this being such a big thing in the books because for most of the time, he would go on these huge bipolar episodes and you're really left wondering what is going on. It isn't until he's in the big sport group he reveals that he's been afflicted with this entire time. And him seeing Violet about to take her own life at the beginning was what created his connection to her in the first place. Because, plot twist, he had also contemplated suicide. Remember the colossal bag of boogers from the beginning? Yeah, he's back, and he throws Finch into another episode.
He's a freak! Fucking freak!
And then there's this scene which is like, Look, dude, I know this isn't gonna help, but please let me hug you.
There has to be a reason, though, because if there's a reason, then he could get better. Something or someone could make him better, right?
I don't know. Who cares? Dude, he's someone else's problem. Why are you asking me about Dad?
Girl, please. He's not asking about his dad, he's actually asking about himself. Oh my god, girl, don't let him walk out the door. One of the biggest critiques I have about the book to movie adaptation is that the book really amps it to 100, and the movie goes in a direction where they're being more subtle and quiet about his suicide. In the book, Theodore sends a bunch of text messages and emails as his final goodbye. There's this sense of like sheer hopelessness after reading those emails and texts. You think there's like a chance you can save him, but you know you can't. I just remember reading that and was like, those were probably sent after the fact. Like with tech these days, you can schedule emails to go out and stuff to go out on a timer. He was probably gone by the time they even read those messages. In the movie, they kind of just had Violet's dad remind her to check the places that they've been to, and maybe Finch is there. That's what prompts her to go to the lake, and there she sees all of his belongings. Again, this is my personal take, so don't kill me. But I would have preferred the book version where she freaks out, strips down, and jumps into the lake. It's definitely not the smartest thing, depending on if you're a competent swimmer or not, but I think it's the most realistic thing. I crushed my steel plated heart, so diving again and again just to try to find him, like, yo, that would 100% be me. Finch is really gone, but he left things behind for Violet to find. And again, I'm sorry moviegoers, but you have to know, there was this beautiful, beautiful moment in the book where he went to this place where it was like the giant ball of paint, and each visitor slapped on another coat of paint, and there's a sign-in sheet to show that Finch had actually painted his own layer there. Violet decides that she's going to paint over that as well. There was just something really beautiful about realizing that Finch's layer of paint will always be on that ball, and if there was going to be any mark that Finch left on the world, she knew it would forever be on this ball of paint. But yeah, that was kind of just one of the most beautiful moments in the book for me, because that ball of paint symbolized how she added her own layers over Finch's. It was kind of coming full circle from the beginning where she wanted her tombstone to read, "I was here," and now they would forever be there. But in the movie, they swapped it with a church sign-in sheet. Ugh, whatever. The end. While it wasn't as good as the book, it was a really sad good movie that Netflix had been sleeping on. Or maybe I'm just out of it. I haven't really seen anything about it on the Twitter sphere or on the YouTubes. So I just thought it deserved a little more recognition. It's only in comparison to the book where it falls a little flat. Like, to me, it fails a little bit on Finch's characterization. Like, the movie really seemed to just focus on Violet, and in the book, it was definitely the both of them. They had both of their own perspectives. Anyway, a really heavy movie. I made light of it a little bit more than I should have, probably. But it's definitely worth watching, in my opinion. Especially if you have no intentions on reading it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like button. Even better, leave a comment either about this video or any ideas you might have for a future video down below. And consider checking out the store and supporting the channel. I have a lot of really cool shirt designs that don't scream YouTuber merch, so no one outside our little circle has to know. But if you can't afford it, don't worry, liking, subscribing, and sharing the video helps just as much. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.